This is why we come to the Mediterranean, proper, full-on super yachts like this Columbus crossover 42. The 42 refers to the fact this is about a 42-meter long boat. It's also almost 9 meters wide. It's a steel hull, it's an aluminium superstructure, and it is absolutely gorgeous, and we are going to give you guys the full tour, and you're going to love this, I suspect. I certainly did. It's absolutely gorgeous. We're stepping on board via this passerelle that extends out. You can extend this up or down into the water, and it retracts completely back into the bathing platform. Look at this massive hot tub on the back here, and can you see how these seats inside look like they're sloping down? They're not, that's refraction of the water. But this is absolutely huge. It's a seawater pool, in fact, is what it is, and it is properly deep. It's about 2 meters at this end. It's got the jets in there. It's just a really nice chill out place. It's salt water because of the sheer volume of water that takes. It takes a massive amount. It empties in about 5 minutes when you put to sea, and it refills in about 15 when you want to use it. But yeah, that's a nice thing on the back there. We've got the aft deck here. What's interesting about this deck is the fact that it is an explorer yacht, and therefore you can get a really big tender on here. And you might wonder how you're going to lift the tender on and off. Well, if you look over there, that section there is a crane, and you can vary the size of the crane when you spec the boat depending on the size of the tender you want. This owner has, I think I'm right in saying, just under a 6 meter tender, but you can go right up to 9 meters. 9 meter tender, that's bigger than my entire boat. That's fantastic. And the idea is that if you're just cruising locally, you would tow it or use it as a chase boat. But if you are heading long distance, and you can do some serious long distances with this, well, then you bring it on board with the crane, you put it down the center line here, and away you go. Because this has got proper serious range. We'll talk about that when we go and look at the engines. Now, the interiors on super yachts, inevitably, we have a lovely dark wood interior and everyone goes, oh, that's very old fashioned. Or we have a light wood interior and everyone goes, oh, that looks like IKEA. We don't get either of those here. This is absolutely stunning. Look at this. It's all beautiful, modern, technical colors. It's light, it's bright, but there's not a hint of IKEA to this interior. There's some stunning finishes. Look at this metallic finish across here where the bar area is, and then you've got the light coloured marble. We've got the marble as we go in, and it sort of segues through to this very light, I think it's an oak flooring, and the lighting in here is just beautiful. It is, of course, designer lighting, as you might imagine. We've got the dining table here as well. We've got the big windows down the outside of the yacht. This is absolutely spectacular. And look at this fire. Now, of course, it's not real fire, but it's very, very realistic. And look at this. If I do that, that's real vapor there. And it's actually, it's like water vapor coming up through. So it looks like a proper fire, but of course, it isn't. It just adds a bit of coziness. Now, this owner has also specified a small bar area over here. It's right next to the galley, and the reason they've done this is because of a morning the family like to just breakfast on their own. They don't like to bother crew getting them a bit of breakfast. They get it themselves and sit here. So that's why they've chosen that. Of course, all this stuff is very, very customizable. This is set up by this owner for their use, and they've chosen stuff like that. And again, the beautiful lighting, it's fantastic. While we're in this area, we'll head forward. There's full crew on here, so we're going to have to be a little bit discreet about where and what we film. Dumbwaiter to there to take food on up. We'll see where that goes. This is down to crew cabin. I'll show you that in just a moment. But the galley then is here. Now, what we've got here is a load of storage in places like this, but then also, of course, a massive amount of refrigeration. We've got a huge freezer all the way down there. And then, well, as you'd expect, you know, double ovens and huge hob and massive extractor fans and all the kind of super yachty stuff that you would expect. That's a nice space. Crockery can live up here. And again, just a load of storage everywhere, as you would hope to find. Let's press on a bit further. I'm going to take you down to the crew area. As I say, I think it's in use. They do know that we're filming today. This is an internal staircase for the crew. So it's crew routing separate to guest routing. And I'll show you obviously the guest route as well. If we head on down here, say I might keep the camera pointed down a bit. I'm going to show you one of the 4 crew cabins. They're all very similar, and the laundry room and hopefully the mess area. Hello there. Hello. I'm just going to come through. Is that okay? Sure, Thank you so much.
If you want to have a look the cabin in the front.
Of course. We're going to just do the one. Yes. Perfect. No problem at all. Thank you. So there's 4 cabins down here. You can see them here, here, and here. We're going to show you this one because it's not in use. The other ones all are. They're all 2-berth cabins. They're all a really nice size. I come back to the fact that this is an explorer yacht. It's designed for doing long distances, and therefore the crew need to be comfortable. And with this, they are. We've got proper heads up in here with the separate shower. It's all very nice, and you'll see in a second, hopefully I'll show you the mess area, which again, a really good size. You want crew to be happy, and they are with this sorts of facilities. There's even, and you don't see this very often, but in this crew area, there is in fact mirror wave. I don't think we've ever seen that before in a crew space, have we? Let's head on back. I'll show you very briefly. Hello. We've got the mess area here, and then if we come on around, we've got the laundry facilities. I'm so sorry, could I just quickly have a very swift look in there? You're very kind, thank you so much. I'm sorry to be a nuisance, there we go. Again, it's big league stuff, isn't it? Good, but we won't disturb these people anymore. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. All right, cheers. Bye-bye. Excellent. There is a captain's cabin as well, so you've got up to 9 crew in total. We'll head back out this way, cut across here. I think these are storage. Yes, here we go. So obviously glasses and all that sort of stuff can all live in places like that. If we head on forward, side access door there, back out to the outside. That, of course, is back to the saloon area where we came in, and the dining area and the bar area at the back. But let's spin on around and head on forward. Again, look at these finishes. So this is like a sort of screen print with glass in front of it that's then lit. And then you've got these kind of metallic finishes here. It's very different, and it's very, very beautiful. Look at this lighting feature that goes right up through the boat. You can see it here. And again, it's all designer lighting given a slightly industrial feel, and it works brilliantly. And against that, then you've got the leather in places like this. So it's that wonderful meld of textures and finishes. Look how this is different to this. This is different to this. Again, this is this sort of textured finish, but behind glass. So much thought and design has gone into this yacht. That's taking us down to the lower deck. We'll go that way in a minute. We also have the day heads on this level, and that's in here. Even in here, you've got that sort of accent of marble on that wall, but then the lighter finishes and the marble again here. It's an absolute feast for the senses, this one. It's beautiful. So this door is, of course, through to the owner's cabin. And this is, it's a super yacht cabin, isn't it? You've got this desk area here, office area, use it as you wish, and the shelving over on this side for your knickknacks. And then we can come through here, and this is all wardrobes right the way across. So if we give this a prod, none of these have got handles on, you just touch them and they open. And then that's the inside of a wardrobe. You've got the drawers underneath there as well. But it's interesting, again, this finish here you can see is actually opaque, and it looks black. If you look at these, it looks dark, it looks like you can't see through it, but when the light's on inside you can. Just playing with the senses a little bit, isn't it? And look at this beautiful carpet that's edged with the marble around it. This is stunning, absolutely stunning. Massive windows in here, so your view out is, can I show us that? Is like this. It's absolutely fantastic. Obviously, imagine you're out at anchor, how lovely that would be. Or underway, of course, because we're back to the range. This is the sort of boat you could be underway for several days at a time, without question. Absolutely enormous bed. It looks like it's wider than it is long. It's just huge. We've got the Toilet off separate in this compartment here. Again, beautifully done, of course. AV equipment, as you would expect. Nice little spot to tuck yourself away. Look at these lights. And again here, we've got this kind of soft velvet finish across here, so it gives it that little bit of subtle softness against the sort of slightly starker dark grey here. It's beautiful. The effect of this, it just feels so nice. It feels modern, it feels that slightly technical, but it still feels cozy, it still feels warm, it still feels like a really inviting space. And I like it very much. I'm going to be intrigued to see what people say about this. As I say, we've gone completely away from dark wood classic interior or light wood IKEA interior. I have to say I don't agree with the IKEA interior comment that people make, because it doesn't allow for the quality of the woodwork that we see in the light interiors. And I guess that's the problem with YouTube, isn't it? You don't get to feel and touch and experience it. But I know what you mean. But I also know that this will not come under that kind of criticism. Look at this in here. The double shower. Ah. Somebody once said that sharing a shower sounds romantic, but in actual fact it's two people taking it in turns to be cold. But with that, you'd be fine, wouldn't you? And again here you've got the marble, and then you've got the kind of metallic finish. That's nice, isn't it? That's so nice. Plenty more to show you. Let's press on a bit further. We've got this place to ourselves at the moment. It's absolutely fantastic. Columbus Yachts look after me so well every time. I'm very grateful to them for this. You know, most people will allow me to look at the boats. They don't normally let me have a yacht of this caliber to myself for as long as I want. It's impressive. If we head on down then, lower deck of course is down here. Again, we've got these dark finishes, and then we've got the light wood in the floor. It's special. It just all feels so very, very special. If we have a look here, we've got guest cabins, of course. This one has a Pullman, so you can sleep an extra person here. Great if you've got kids. That takes the total sleeping up to 11, if my calculations are correct, because we've got 4 twin cabins down here, plus that Pullman, plus the owner's cabin. Again, wardrobes, but again, it's also sleek. There's no handles sticking out on the outside of here, and it just gives you that wonderful, oh, let's try closing it properly, integrated finish. AV equipment in this one, bathroom in here. And this is a good size. These are all a good size. These, I think, are the smallest cabins in the boat, and yet, look at it, it's massive. All of this is such a great size. That's fabulous. Let's press on a bit further. So we've got another one on this side. This has got a double. Again, really wide bed. There's no sense of compromise. You might notice there's no TV in here, but in fact there is, because it lowers out of the ceiling. That one there will hinge down that way to there, so you can watch it in bed if you want to. Again, the wardrobes are all beautifully integrated. Again, we've got a really nice ensuite, and again we've got these fabulous finishes. All of this stuff, I think I've said it before, it's all custom build. You choose whatever you want. You might think, well, I don't like that. Fine, don't have it, have something else. But this is what this owner has chosen, and I think they've done a great job. I really do. I would be very, very happy with this. Let's press on back a little further. There's more wardrobe space. I think I'm right in saying, having said that, it looks a bit narrow for wardrobes. It's shelving, in fact. There we are. Light switches here as well. Everything's so sleek, isn't it? And if we come on back again, look at this beautiful screen printing on here. And you can see it here as well. And with the lights above it, it gives it kind of a metallic sheen. Fabulous. This, I think I'm right in saying, is a watertight compartment. So you've got the buttons for it here. So emergency situation out in the middle of the Atlantic, you've got the capability of shutting areas of the boat off if it was ever needed in an emergency. Almost certainly wouldn't be very reassuring to know that you can. These cabins are bigger again. These are really big actually. Again, we have the big hull windows, and behind here, which we're not getting the full impression of because we're alongside another boat, but you get the idea. That's the only thing with boat shows. They're great places to look at boats, but you don't get the feeling that you get out at sea. AV equipment, of course, wardrobes again about the place. And again with this beautiful velvet material across in places like this, just to soften things up. The twin sinks, the loo, the shower, that's a big ensuite, isn't it? That is owner cabin standard. These have got pocket doors that slide out of here. They clip back at the minute, but that's what comes across to close that off, of course. And if we head on round, again, look at this ceiling. Everywhere you look on this, it just smacks of huge attention to detail. It's not like, okay, we've done all this with lovely fabrics, now let's put a ceiling in. It's let's go to town on the ceiling as well. And these are all designer fabrics in places like this. And even here, where we've got the dark wood finish for this, and again, these are push to open. So they're sleek. Nice, nice, nice. And I fear I'm repeating myself, but the lighting is just exquisite. I like this so much. I'm not sure if that comes across. I suspect it probably does. Wardrobe again, then tucked away in here. And another absolutely vast ensuite. Fantastic, that is the lower deck covered off. Let's press on. We've got a lot more to show you. I'm going to take you on up. That one there, oh, you're going to like this. If you're anything like me, if you're geeky, that is the server racks for all of the AV equipment. It's done by VideoWorks. And oh, it's just gorgeous. I love stuff like this. Brilliant. Let's press on. So back up through here. We'll loop on around. And we'll take this staircase. So this is the guest staircase, separate to the crew staircase that goes on up. I'll show you where that comes out. We spoke about these finishes, but you can see them again here as we go on around. It just adds so much interest to the boat. And then we come out here and suddenly we've got the light flooring, the light panels. Beautiful. I'll take you in here. I think we may have some crew in here, I'm not sure. No, we're okay. That is the bridge, as you've no doubt worked out for yourself. That's a thing going bleep. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to touch anything. And this, well, this is little ship stuff, isn't it? You knew it was coming. And here it is. Now there is a captain's cabin here. I'm a bit loath to go into it because I know that he's on board. He may well be in there. So we'll leave that for a minute. But yeah, proper decent captain's cabin, obviously en suite, all that kind of stuff. I have seen it because it was open earlier, which is partly why I'm reluctant to open it now, because somebody's closed that for a reason. We've got the ship's wheel here, and we've got, I say wheel, I mean, it's more of a yoke really, isn't it? You don't tend to use that. You use the engines and the thrusters when you're in port and use the autopilot out at sea, but nonetheless, there it is. Compass is up here. And a pretty magnificent view out all the way around. Fantastic. We've got access out here, but I'm going to take you aft. First of all, we're going to take a look at this area. So that's that beautiful lighting box that comes up through the boat. And then back here, we have the pantry area for the staff. That's that staircase we saw that came up from the galley area. So that's crew routing. And then down here is where the dumbwaiter comes up to, and then in here again more cold storage that's dotted around the place, and so forth. But again, a nice, light, bright, workable area, isn't it? How about that for a view? Lovely. Let's press on. It's going to be a big tour, this one, because it's a big boat. This then is the upper deck. Well, it's kind of like a cinema zone, isn't it? Or a media room, or call it what you will. A fantastic gaming place, a fantastic place to come and watch a movie of an evening. But also you've got opening doors on both sides. So they're here and they're behind me, as well as the aft door. So you can really open this whole space out if you want to. And again, we've got these beautiful textures all over the place. It's really, really nice. Look at this marble across here. These, I think I'm right in saying, are the buttons for the doors. I'm not going to press it. What do I always say? You're on a big boat when you can walk behind the furniture. Fabulous. So that's a great space, but we can go on again because we've got the aft upper deck here, a fabulous relaxing space, just a really great chill out zone, and we can go on up again because this will take us up to the sun deck. And again, it's just vast. It's that huge beam that the yacht has got, combined with, of course, the fact that it is quite simply a really big, long yacht at 42 meters. But this is the sort of reward that you get for using those sorts of dimensions. A simply huge party zone up on top of the boat. Can you imagine the fun you could have with this? There is this wonderful, I mean, calling it a bar is selling it short. It's a catering zone, isn't it? So we've got things like this underneath here. We've got, of course, ice maker, fridge, all that kind of stuff. There's a sink in there as well. This TV retracts, but it also swivels. So if you're sat over here, you want it spun around so you can watch the Grand Prix or whatever else, or have a movie up here if you wanted to, then you can do. And then there's this fabulous eating area. Again, you know, it's a wooden table, but look at the way they've done it. Look at the textures and the finishes and the way that that works. It is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So taken with this yacht. Let's press on. We've got this wonderful zone up here. This is great when the boat's underway. You can sit up here and you can watch the scenery go by, or the horizon coming at you, or whatever else, and it's shaded as well, as you can see, until you get right out to here. Now what you have up here is all of your radar and your satellite domes and your antennas and all that kind of thing, all up on top of the boat. And in fact, these chaps here are for a ladder that will clip onto there so that crew can get up there for maintenance. But that is quite the space, isn't it? Just dramatic as the rest of the boat. There's still more to show you. We're going to take a wander around the upper deck because we are, of course, above the upper deck here on the sun deck. So we're going to go down to the upper deck and then we'll go back down again to the main deck, which is down there. But before we do that, I'm going to circle you round and forward past the media room. These are the doors that open on the side. We'll go past the bridge, which we had a look at earlier. There are wing stations on here as well. They're underneath these sections. They're on both sides of the boat, of course. And we have life raft storage up here and so on. And then there's another really nice convivial zone. We've got the seating, we've got the sun pads. And right up to the very bow, we've got the twin capstans and these huge bollards for mooring. And huge fenders, and finally the ship's bell. 2025, this one's brand spanking new. Look at that. What a machine. Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Let's press on back down this side. You've got these little gates here so you can close this off as a crew area if you've got kids running around and that sort of thing. You don't want them heading up there. That's what those are for. That's the sun deck where we were a moment ago. We'll head back down this side again. We've got the bridge door again. We've got the wing stations. But I'm going to take you back and down. I'm going to show you the beach club area and I'm going to show you the engine space. This is magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. Okay, cut back across here then. So as I say, we're behind the media room now. That's the steps we went up to for the sun deck, but we're going down We'll go back to the aft deck, but what I'm going to do this time is take you back down the boat. This is the crane that I was mentioning. You can see the sort of area where it swivels here, and you can see the arm for that, which lifts up to bring the tender on board should it be required. And we will talk about the kind of range performance that this yacht has when we go into the engine space. Look at these lovely big wide treads as you come down here. It's a nice boat to move around. So back on to the bathing platform. This is where we came on. It's like a transformer that comes in and slides away underneath there. This is that saltwater pool. And then if we go down here, you'll see, do you remember me saying how it looks like these things are sloping? Can you see it there? It looks like they're at an angle, doesn't it? If we go in here, so those are seats basically, you can see that in fact, they're dead flat. It's just a trick of the refraction of the light. Isn't that amazing? But you can also see just how huge and deep this is. That's a great place to play. And it's got glass all the way around. You can see just how big that is and how deep it is. That is brilliant. Now this owner has chosen to spec this as a gym area, but of course you could use this for all of your dive kit, all your toys, your sea bobs and your paddle boards and your flight boards and all that kind of thing. It's a very multi-purpose area. This is just what it's being used for on this particular yacht. We've got sink underneath here, and then this is laundry facilities in here. Obviously saw the main laundry facilities in the crew area, but for things like washing towels for outdoor stuff and swimming equipment and so forth, well then you've got that extra as well. And it's all again so beautifully finished. Speakers in the ceiling as well. That's a nice workout zone, and the light that you get refracting down through here through that water is just beautiful. Look at that. That's mesmerizing, isn't it? Let's come right across here. More training equipment, more storage. Looks like you can get back out on that side as well, similar to what we did a second ago. But I want to take you in, and I would like to show you, there we go, it's techno gym equipment in here. I'd like to show you the engine space, and there's a route into there. There's a couple of routes into here actually, but the one I'm going to take you through is one of these. Hang on. There it is. So there is a proper watertight door here. So this great big fellow here closes that over. And then you've got this one here, which is more of a sort of slightly more conventional door, I suppose. And then in here is the engines. Again, an absolutely colossal space. You'd expect it on a 42-meter yacht, and you get it. You've got a pair of Caterpillar C32 engines. They are 1,000 horsepower each, if my calculations are correct. They're 740 kilowatts, and I think I've worked that out as 1,000 horsepower each. It doesn't sound massive, does it, for a boat of this size, but it's because it's not a planing boat, it's a displacement boat. It doesn't need to lift up onto the plane. It cruises at a maximum speed of 14.5 knots and a cruising speed of 12 knots. If you drop it back to 10 knots, however, you've got 5,500 miles of range. You're transatlantic with this. It's properly big league. It's not about a fast blast out to the Bahamas. It's about heading across the Atlantic if you want to. This is the other route in, so this takes you up and round and onto the side deck, which is through that door there. Obviously that means you can come down into this space without going down onto the bathing platform, which clearly, if you're out at sea in heavy weather, you wouldn't want to do. So this is another route in, but you've got that other route that we came in also. Engine here, and engine here. As I say, Cat C32s, big, proper, chunky diesel engines. You'd expect it, you get it. Love all this with the engine instrumentation screens on the side. And then you've got all the control systems at the back. And a simply massive generator on this side and another one on the other side. And you can, of course, walk all the way around here get to everything. Check it out. That's the water maker, I think I'm right in saying. Yes, there we are, water maker. It's spectacular, isn't it? What an absolutely amazing super yacht. I'm so pleased to bring this one to you. I always say this, but when I go to these boat shows, I try and film a lot of boats, but there's always one where I think, do you know what, if I come down and just film this and gone home, it would have been worth it. This is that boat at the Cannes Yacht Show. I've filmed some absolutely wonderful stuff, but this takes the biscuit. This is just fantastic. Ah, yes. It's also new and so clean and so lovely, isn't it? I think this is air conditioning over here. Not absolutely sure, if I'm honest. We are a bit of a league above what I'm used to here. But I suspect that's what's going down right there. And we can come right around here and find ourselves back in the centre again. How cool is that? Oh. Do you know what? I think we're done. I'm going to let these good people have their super yacht back. They've been so kind at letting me loose on this one. I'm really, really pleased. And we'll head out here past this amazing saltwater pool, and we'll head on up and we'll head on out, and we'll call that a job well done. And that, my friends, is about the size of that. I don't think I have to tell you just how taken I am with that one. I think that is absolutely stunning. Massive, massive thanks to Columbus Yachts. They're part of the Palumbo Super Yachts. And huge, huge thanks, of course, to you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of that one in the comments. I'll catch you on another one of these real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.